How are we doing today? Episode 7 of Speaking Sox. We're thrilled to come back with another episode. 2 in a row, 2 days in a row, right before opening day. This is going to be a little bit of an opening day special. We've got some great stuff in store for you. I'm Aiden.
I'm Ben.
And let's get into it. So, without further ado, we're going to start off with a rapid fire Red Sox versus in terms of who would win in a series of 7. So, for example, I'll pitch Red Sox versus Blue Jays. And then we're going to give our answer Blue Jays in 5, Red Sox in 6. Something along those lines. So we're going to start it off real quick with the Blue Jays. Red Sox, Blue Jays, Ben.
Blue Jays in 7.
I think I'll go Blue Jays in 5.
How would you feel about the Rays and Sox?
I'm going to go Sox in 7.
I think I'm going to go with Sox in 6 for this one.
Nice. Yankees versus the Red Sox.
I'll go Sox in 5.
I'm going to go Sox in 7.
Red Sox, Braves.
I'll go Braves in 5.
I'll go Braves in 4.
Mets versus the Red Sox.
I'll go with the Sox in 6.
Okay, I'll go Mets in 6.
Phillies, Sox.
Phillies in 7.
I would go Phillies in 7 as well.
Good. White Sox versus the Red Sox.
I would go Red Sox in 7.
Okay, I got White Sox in 5.
How would you feel about the Twins and the Red Sox?
Sox in 5.
I would go Sox in 4.
I like that. Cardinals versus the Red Sox.
Sox in 7.
I got Cardinals in 6 on that one.
How about
Brewers.
Brewers? How would you feel about the Brewers and the Sox?
I got Brewers in 6.
Brewers in 6. I would have the Sox in 7.
Like that. Cubs versus the Red Sox.
Sox in 4.
Me too. Sox in 4.
Astros, Sox.
Astros in 5.
I agree 100%. Astros in 5.
Mariners versus the Sox.
I'll go Sox in 6.
Got Mariners in 6.
How about the Angels and the Sox?
I've got Angels in 7.
I got the Sox in 7.
Okay. Rangers versus the Red Sox.
I got the Sox in 5.
Sox in 5 also.
Dodgers, Red Sox.
Dodgers in 5.
Dodgers in 4.
San Francisco Giants versus the Red Sox.
I'll take the Giants in 7.
Yeah, Giants in 7 as well.
How would you feel about the Padres and the Sox?
I've got Padres in 7.
I got the Sox in 7.
All right. We're going to do that segment next week as well with players across the league. Let us know what you thought. And we're also going to be posting that to our TikTok. Follow us at the Tipsy Tailgate. I forgot to mention, but follow us at the Tipsy Tailgate on Instagram. We will be doing a giveaway, and we're going to be giving away a podcast sticker, a sweatshirt, and a jersey, all for free. If you guys follow us and do a couple other things, share the post. So follow us on Instagram. We post great content there, audio clips. It's really a great move to follow us there. You'll always keep updated with our content, and we're pumping out content daily, especially with baseball season starting up just around the corner. Next topic we're going to get into full MLB standings predictions. This is something that we've discussed at length.
Yep.
And we're ready to give it to you guys. Let's start in the NL East. All right, I'll start first. I've got the Braves winning the division. I really think they're going to be amazing this year.
I agree 100%.
And we're going to get to our hot takes in a little bit. I have a really hot take. I don't know how hot it is actually, but I definitely think it's a bold take on the Braves. I got the Mets finishing second in the NL East, followed by the Phillies at third, Marlins, and the Nationals. What about you, Ben?
So I have almost the same exact thing. I swapped the Phillies and the Mets in my order because, as I was saying, I think it was a week and a half ago maybe, I'm so high in the Phillies this year. I think the Phillies have a great chance at winning it all this year. So I really can't see them finishing third in the division. But, yeah, as you said, I think the Braves are I think they're going to pick up right where they left off.
For sure.
I think,
they suffered so many injuries last year, they could only get that much better.
And they still won it all. So, I mean, I think they're going to be a special group.
Dangerous.
They remind me a bit of the 2013 Seattle Seahawks rolling into that next year because they themselves dealt with some injuries and then
And
the
now
next
they're
year they
back.
came back,
Exactly.
and they were honestly a little bit better in 2014, just didn't get the job done. But I think the Braves are going to be amazing. They lost Freddie, but they replaced him with Matt Olson, so I think that's a seamless transition.
Oh, yeah.
So I think the Braves easily run away with this one.
Okay, NL Central. I'll start here. I've got the Cardinals winning out the division. I know you're high on the Brewers this year, and I am as well, but I'm very high on the Cardinals. Their pitching worries me a little bit, but I think this lineup competes with all the top ones in the league. Tyler O'Neill is a legend out there in left. Goldschmidt's a beast.
Yeah.
Arenado, I mean, Goldschmidt's creating a Hall of Fame resume in the sneakiest way possible.
He really is.
I think he has over a 50 WAR combined over his career.
And Arenado's just a bona fide superstar.
Yeah, Arenado's amazing. You got Yachty there in his final year.
Yep.
Pujols is back.
Yep.
You know,
his last year as well.
Last year,
maybe a little bit of magic for
Wainwright
for the Cardinals this year. Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
I think this could be a really special squad.
Yeah.
So I've got Cardinals finishing first in the NL Central, followed by the Brewers finishing second, the Cubs finishing third, the Reds fourth, and then the Pirates fifth. I think the Reds are selling right now, and it's going to get middle of the year, and they're just going to sell everyone. They're kind of going to do what the Oakland A's did this offseason.
Yeah, very similar again, just one switch. I have the Brewers. I'm so high on the Brewers. We're going to get into this in a little bit with our hot takes because I have a Brewers-related hot take. But I think the Brewers are going to be absolutely phenomenal this year. I think Yelich is going to have a huge bounce-back season.
Yeah.
I really don't buy into slumps, especially when it's 1 year. I think he's going to be ready to go this year. I think he's going to be playing inspired baseball, and
Definitely.
And that nasty duo that they have in their starting rotation, Burns and Woodruff. So
even Freddie Peralta.
Yeah,
they just produce pitchers.
I think, but they're two. I think their two could individually get nominated for Cy Youngs any single season. So I got to go with the Brewers, and I think they're going to make a run at it.
Definitely.
So
I got for sure.
So I got the Brewers at 1, and then I have the Cardinals at 2. I still think the Cardinals are a playoff team.
Yeah.
I still think they win 90-plus games.
Yep.
So I have the Cardinals there. And then I don't think the Cubs are very good, but I still have them at 3 simply for the fact that I think the Reds and Pirates are absolutely horrible. I actually have the Reds and Pirates interchangeable between 4 and 5. So that's my order.
Okay, NL West. Dodgers at 1, kind of obvious there. I mean, I know that they didn't win it last year, but this team this year is something that we've maybe never seen before with Freddie Freeman in that lineup, you know. Then I'm going Giants 2. This was tough. Giants Padres. I'm going Giants 2. I just think their pitching is going to be so important. Their hitting takes a big hit this year. I think they don't catch momentum and fire in the bottle with Brandon Belt and Brandon Crawford and all those guys just hitting absolutely out of their minds, career highs and stuff. But I do think the pitching carries. Rodon's there now. Logan Webb is a bona fide Cy Young candidate.
Yep.
And then I'm going to go Padres 3. There are rumors that Jose Ramirez and the Padres are kind of showing interest in a trade. If they get Jose Ramirez, I'm definitely swapping those two.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
And that's a dangerous team. I'd love to see that. That would make that division so much more competitive.
It really would.
And then I'm going Rockies, followed by the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, so my again, only one difference here. I think the Dodgers are... I love the Phillies this year. I think the Phillies will win this year. I think they will represent the NL in the World Series. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I think the Dodgers are a worse team than the Phillies. I just think that the Phillies will win. I think the Dodgers are the best team in the National League, bar none, by far. They're probably the best team in baseball. I think at least close to it. I think the Braves do give them a run for their money, but I just got to go with the Dodgers. So obviously I'm gonna have them win their division. So and then I have the Padres second. Obviously missing their superstar is gonna hurt for the beginning chunk of the season. But
because of the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Stay off motorcycles, kids.
Yeah, and don't lie about breaking your arm too. Just go to a doctor. And but I think they'll miss him. But baseball's another sport. It's a team game. I think everyone can pull through it. in the first a couple months of the season. I think they can get through that, and it'll feel like a trade deadline acquisition later in the year. They'll get more momentum.
Exactly.
They'll get hot. So I think the Padres will be in a good place, and I think the Dodgers. I mean, not the Dodgers. Sorry, the Giants hitting. I think it's going to regress quite a bit this season.
I think so too.
And I think it's going to hurt them a little bit. So I have the Giants at 3, and then I have the Rockies at 4 and D-backs at 5.
All right, and we saw last year acquiring Chris Bryant for the Giants meant all the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they do something similar to that. I don't know why they didn't look to replace him in the offseason. I don't believe
they got a little
did.
too complacent for my liking.
Yeah, they definitely, and they focused on their pitching a little bit more so. Let's go to the AL, though. AL East, we have discussed this already, but we're going to give it to you again. I've got the Blue Jays winning the division. I think they're very good this year, and this is just a squad that's, it's primed.
Stacked.
It's primed
They're
to
just
break
stacked.
out. I'm going Rays 2, but I have been a little hesitant on it. Trading Austin Meadows, not quite sure why. I'm still going to go 2 just because I think Wander Franco has an all-time year, breaks out in ways that we haven't seen from a young guy like that, maybe since Mike Trout, Bryce Harper.
Yep.
I'm going to go Red Sox 3, winning, making the playoffs, and then the Yankees missing out at 4. But I do think it's possible that all 3 wild card teams are from the AL East.
The AL East.
And then I'm going to go Orioles to round out that division.
Yeah, I'm not a believer in the Rays this year.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that
which could be because
they couldn't make the playoffs.
And you've mentioned before the shift ban.
Right. I think it's going to hurt them a lot.
I think so too.
I
A
think
big
it's
analytic
really going to hurt
team,
them. I think they I call them kind of begrudgingly. I'm not really a fan of them at all. Obviously since they're in our division, but I call them defensive moneyball. It seems like every little shift they could do, any little any inch of competitive edge that they can get on the defensive side of the field, they do it, and it's so frustrating to play against them.
Yeah.
So I think this is really going to hurt them, hurt their style of play. So I got the Jays at 1, Sox at 2, and then the Rays at 3, Yanks at 4. However, after that trade we saw, I believe it was yesterday, I'm kind of leaning towards putting the Yankees at 3 and the Rays at 4. But I think there's too much talent in the Rays, even with that trade, for them to drop below 4. So I'm going to keep them at 3 for now.
I like that.
And then the Orioles I think they suck. So,
That's a given.
So them last.
All right, AL Central. I'm going to go White Sox 1. With the news of Austin Meadows heading to Detroit, I've loved what they're doing there all offseason. Javier Baez and such. They've got young players, Casey Mize, I'm so high on. Tariq Skubal, I believe is how you pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
Great pitchers. I'm blanking Matt Manning, but I'm blanking on other ones. But there are great prospects there. Spencer Torkelson will be coming up as a third base, first base prospect, former first overall pick. This is a team that I think is going to surprise a lot of people.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that in my hot takes if you don't get what I'm saying already. But I'm going Tigers second in that division. And then I'm going to go Twins third. I don't think they're going to be as good as people think. I think Carlos Correa may be on his way out at the All-Star break and the deadline deal. If not, next year, I think he's out. And then I'm going to go Royals at fourth in that division, and then Guardians at fifth.
Yeah, for me, same thing for the White Sox at 1. I think they're easily the best team in this division. If they don't win, I would be almost as surprised.
They're the biggest lock for a division.
They have to be. They really have to be.
Yeah.
Excuse me. They really have to be the biggest lock for their division. The only reason it's not the Blue Jays because the rest of the Blue Jays division is wildly talented. Just firepower all over the place. And the White Sox don't have to deal with that. If they don't win this division, that is a choke job. That's completely on them. But
it's almost a cakewalk.
It really is. It really is. And I have to put the Twins at 2. And I have to put the Twins at 2 purely for the fact that just on paper, I think they're better than the Tigers. I agree with everything you said. I think the Tigers are going the right direction, which is why I do have them at 3. I think they made a lot of improvements. And then the Royals at 4 and the Guardians at 5. I think Cleveland doesn't have much going for it right now. There just isn't much talent on the roster, so I have them last in this division.
All right, I like that. Just going off a couple things, I'm looking at DraftKings right now. For the White Sox to have the best regular season record, beating up on that weak division, plus 1 plus 1,100.
Yeah.
Pretty good odds.
Yeah.
That's a nice value bet if you're into that. And for them to win the division, they're probably the biggest lock if I had to guess. Minus 195, just behind the Dodgers at minus 235.
Yeah, maybe outside of, like, I would have to say the NL East is a lock, but simply for the fact that the Braves are just that good.
Yeah, well, if you look at the second team, the Twins are plus 500 to win that division, and the second team that's that high up is the Angels at plus 390. So it really shows you that there's a margin, and minus 195 might be a lock, and it looks like that so far. But going on to our last division, the AL West, I'm gonna go Houston Astros. I think Kyle Tucker has a really strong year. I think there's potential that he could be in the MVP running.
I sneaky agree with that take.
He had a really good year.
He's an ascending player.
For sure.
I think and for some reason I feel like unless you're a diehard baseball fan, you're not that familiar with him yet. Like the casual fan.
He's only 25, I believe.
Yeah, he's not very old at all. He's just like, I don't know. It seemed like, especially last year since we played in the ALCS, just absolutely killed the Red Sox. Just so many big hits in that series.
That's for sure. And then going on the rest of that division, we've got the Mariners. I've got the Mariners coming in second. Really like what they're doing there. Julio Rodriguez is coming. Is going to be up for the opening day, and he is just a prospect to behold. I don't know what they're going to do. We talked about it a little bit on the last podcast. What are they going to do with Jared Kelenic? Because they have, obviously, Mitch Haniger. They have Kyle Lewis. And then they added Jesse Winker from the Reds. So that's a stacked outfield. Not really sure what they're going to do with him. Rising prospect. Didn't have the best year, but he had a good start. And then third in the division, I'm going to go with the Angels. I think that they're a playoff team. And I kind of hope they make the playoffs, in all honesty. If the Sox and the Angels can make the playoffs, I would be really happy with how the year turned out. I want to see Mike Trout have postseason success,
I want Mike Trout to win a World Series. Who doesn't want to see the best player in their respective sport win the World Series or win their championship? But I have the Angels at 2. And I honestly, I wanted to put them at 1. I almost made that a hot take for this episode because I really do. You have to believe in the 2 best players in the world.
I like that a lot, and I was even considering because I'm high on the Mariners. I was considering putting the Mariners at 1. Yeah. I just couldn't do it.
I don't know.
I couldn't pull the trigger.
I think the Astros are too established.
Just a great organization at this point.
They really are. They're
a baseball factory for the past 5 years.
In terms of the last 5 years, I would say
really ever since they got Carlos Correa.
Yeah.
Once they drafted him, they knew they were building something special.
Yeah, to me, baseball the last 3 seasons has been about 3 teams, and it's been the Red Sox, the Astros, and the Dodgers. To me, it's been those 3 teams.
No, you're right. You're
more credit to Houston. They've established this run of dominance over the rest of that division. So I got to stick with them at 1 for sure.
And then rounding it out, the Rangers. I think they're actually going to be better than a lot of teams think. I know they added Marcus Semien, runner-up, I believe, for the MVP last year. They added Corey Seager. They added Mitch Garver. This is a team that's going for it finally. And they have Jack Leiter as a young prospect. He won't be up this year. But this is a team that's going to be good, and I think they're going to produce. A lot of people aren't that high on them. I think they're going to do fairly well. It's just a tough division, like we said. And
honestly,
I think the A's are 5th. Yeah.
If you were to place the Rangers in a less competitive division, like say you drop them in the AL Central, I think they could compete in the AL Central. Obviously outside of Chicago, because I think the Rangers.
I think the Rangers might finish second in that division.
I would give them a chance to. I really would. I think
it's a tough draw.
Like they might be the best 4 seed, and I do have the Yankees at 4, so I would say that the Yankees. But
are the outside
best.
Of us,
outside of the AL East, I would say that this is the best 4 seed that you'll get in the bigs this year.
All right, let's move on to our season hot takes. Let's make them hot. All right, I'll start it off. Wander Franco for MVP. He's going to have a sick year. He is. He's maybe the most surefire 5-tool player we've seen since Mike Trout. He does it all. He's a pure hitter. Maybe the best hitter we've seen at that young of an age. Power, contact, he's got speed, he could field. He's got everything. And
Yeah.
he's what? He was 19 last year, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be 20 this year. What is he going to do when he's 23? When he's 25?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I think this year he establishes himself, and my hot take is he might just win the MVP.
I think that's a great take. My first hot take, though, I'm going to go with Nathan Eovaldi winning the Cy Young. And I
like it. I think he's got that ego.
I think he's got that confidence, which we talked about last episode, how important confidence is.
Definitely.
In baseball.
Swag, all that.
Yep, and I think he's got the right kind of team around him, the right kind of locker room, the right kind of guys, the right kind of manager to get hot and go on a run like that to win the Cy Young. And it's a necessity.
With Sale out also.
Exactly.
We need him to do it.
It's a necessity. He has to be our ace. He has to get it done in order for the Red Sox to go where people are planning on them to go, and that's win 93-plus games and compete for the World Series. So I got Nathan Eovaldi winning the Cy Young.
I like that. My second hot take, already mentioned it a little bit. Tigers are going to have a really impressive year. I think they finished second in the AL Central, and I think they surprise a lot of people.
I do like
I think they
that.
might. I think there's a shot they slide into a wild card spot. If the AL wasn't as strong and the AL East wasn't as strong, I think that I would probably take them as my hot take to make a wild card spot. Just because AL East is so strong, I'm not going to do that. But I think that they're going to be a very good team. Probably 80 wins, I'd say.
Yeah, I honestly, I think they're going to be a very competitive ball club. I really do.
AJ Hinch knows what he's doing.
He really does. But for my second one, I'm going to go, I don't know if this is as hot as that one, but I'm going to go with the Milwaukee Brewers. No, it might be a little hotter, actually. I'm going to go with the Milwaukee Brewers having the best record in the NL. For the regular season.
I like it. All they really need is for their lineup to step up and Yelich to be back to what he was, and then that's almost like a great take. A great take.
I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe they won at least 100, if not really close. I believe they're 2 years removed from that. So
they're another team that's like the Giants. That's like the Dodgers. Where they just keep the Mets, they keep producing pitchers. Their pitching factory, even their bullpen is outstanding.
Yeah, so I think that they have the weapons offensively to do it. I believe they just added Renfroe. I'm pretty sure that they poached Renfroe from the Red Sox. Yeah. So I think they're going to be ready to go this season. They have tons of power in that lineup, and I think that Milwaukee's just an absolutely electric place to play. So I'm going to go with Milwaukee having the best record in the regular season in the NL this year.
All right, I like it. Then, next up for me, I'm going to say I think the Braves have an even better year than last year. Not outcome-wise, I don't think they win the World Series, but I think this team is electric. I think last year they missed, I'm blanking on exactly who it was. I think Max Fried, I think, was hurt. Yes, he was hurt. I think they had Ian Anderson, but they were missing out on another ace. I'm going to look it up right now. But the Braves are getting back the pitching staff they were missing. They're also receiving guys like Ronald Acuna back, who's just going to be absolutely
To me, that's
filthy.
the story.
That is the story.
Them getting him back. The fact that they went on that run and he wasn't there.
Can you believe they won the World Series without their best player?
Exactly. Their best player. So I don't see how your team can I've never seen a championship team be able to raise their ceiling so much going into the next season.
Oh, yeah.
Based just on health. So I agree with you 100%. I honestly, I think they really could repeat. The only thing I see stopping them is injury. But then again, injury couldn't stop them last year. So
yeah, and you never know with injuries. That's a big thing. I'm a huge fan of Austin Riley, and I'm gonna slide that into my next one. But it's you, Benny.
Okay, so for mine, I'm going to go with Rafael Devers winning the MVP in the AL.
Let's do it.
I think that he's gonna hit for 310 plus. I think this is gonna be Rafi's best season by far. I think he could approach 50-something home runs, maybe even a little higher.
Especially without the shift.
I think he could get over. I think he could reach 120 RBIs. I think he's gonna have an absolutely phenomenal season. And say the Red Sox are able to stumble into winning this division over the Blue Jays, who were probably Rafi's two biggest opponents for winning the MVP this year. I would say
Vladdy.
I would say it's Vladdy Guerrero, Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani. I think those are the three guys that he would have to overcome.
Definitely.
And if he wins the division over Guerrero, that's a step up just for that. So
yeah.
The only thing I could see stopping him from winning the division, if that were to be the case, is if, say, the Angels win 100-plus games, which I don't see happening. Mm-hmm. If Trout and Ohtani were able to carry them to 100-plus games, maybe another hot take. I don't know if this is a little too hot. Say Trout and Ohtani are able to carry the Angels on this magical run this season, winning 100-plus games, the best they really could think to do. What if they win a co-MVP? That would be interesting.
So cool.
That would be interesting.
That would be so cool. And if you have co-MVPs, you got to be somewhere in the playoffs, no?
Yeah.
I like that. I'm not sure. Do you have any more?
No, that's it for me.
Okay, so I'll wrap mine up here. Couple player award ones. I think Kyle Tucker, sneaky MVP. I like vote. That. And then I think Austin Riley, most home runs. Another guy who's just a powerhouse now, taking over for kind of that leadership role in Atlanta, I think.
Yeah.
Especially with Acuna out to start, and then Matt Olson new there. He's going to be a big guy in Atlanta. And then Logan Webb from the Giants for Cy Young. He had an outstanding year, outstanding playoffs. I think the sky is the limit for him and for that Giants rotation.
Yeah, I like that. That's very interesting.
All right, and we'll wrap this one up with a couple bets that I like for the season. Rookie of the Year edition. So Julio Rodriguez, I've talked at length about how high I am on him. Plus 450 on DraftKings. Obviously, you have the obvious one, the leader, Bobby Witt Jr. for the Royals at plus 310. Still think that's pretty good value. He's starting, he's just like Julio is. He's starting the year on the Major League squad. Gives him an advantage. Spencer Torkelson for the Tigers, plus 450. He'll probably be up sooner than later. And he's just going to be an electric power guy there in Detroit. And then I like Grayson Rodriguez and Tristan Casas for kind of, dark horse picks. Grayson Rodriguez, pitcher for the Orioles, plus 4,000 on DraftKings. And then Tristan Casas, plus 3,000. And then out of the NL, CJ Abrams. I think he might just start up in the majors because Tatis is hurt. And he is a shortstop. I think he could play center as well. But he's a shortstop. Plus 900. If he gets hot with Tatis, we saw Tatis move to outfield for a little bit last year, and they're not too thrilled with Tatis's defense. So maybe if Abrams really shows that he's a great defensive shortstop and he brings the bat, then Tatis might just get the permanent move to the outfield, or some other place wherever.
If that were to happen, I would be surprised if they shipped Tatis out of there. I don't think they're too happy with him in general right now.
I would say that's a possibility other than that contract that they just loaded up.
Yeah.
But there are definitely teams
there's a lot of teams that would be willing to take that on.
Oh, for sure. That's all that I have. If you've got anything else?
No, that's it for me. Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, so we'll be back in maybe Thursday night for a little opening day recap. I will be at Yankee Stadium for the Yankee Red Sox opening day as long as it doesn't get rained out. Mm-hmm. Very excited. Follow us on our social medias. Twitter at The Tipsy Tailgate. Instagram at The Tipsy Tailgate. YouTube at The Tipsy Tailgate. TikTok at The Tipsy Tailgate. You guessed it.
Yep.
And on Spotify, Speakin Socks by The Tipsy Tailgate. Same with Apple Podcasts and YouTube. You could find us there. We're posting audio clips of certain segments of the podcast onto our Instagram page and our Twitter page. We've got really good content coming for you guys, and we've been pumping it out all year. Very excited. Like I said in the beginning, enter in the giveaway that's going to be coming up soon. You win a free sweatshirt, free jersey, and a sticker for the podcast, all for free. Why wouldn't you do it? So that's basically it. Episode 7 in the books. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.